Steve Moore, host of More Money, WABC Radio, dear friend. So, Steve Moore, today's numbers, you got this business CapEx, non-defense capital goods, excluding aircraft. This is business investment, machinery, equipment, factories coming. This thing's running. Shipments up almost 10% last 3 months, 9.9%, double the 5.1% of the past year. Orders, 8.5% at an annual rate, almost double, 5.5%. Industrial production of consumer goods and business goods are also booming. Productivity's booming. Profits are booming. The whole economy's booming. I mean, if we keep this up, Steve, there'll be no affordability problem, and debt and deficits will come down. How about that?
Yeah, and you left out, Larry. I paid $2.69 a gallon yesterday for gas. So
there you go.
It's an amazing phenomenon that's going on. Oh, you left out one, Larry. How about exports? Exports are increasing under Trump. As we produce more, we're selling it abroad, bringing the trade deficit down. It's a beautiful picture. And who would have thunk that this would happen? And gee, first Trump comes in, the first thing he does is cuts tax rates. And let's not forget, you talk about this all the time, Larry, the importance of allowing businesses to reduce their spending, their taxes on capital goods, which has caused that investment boom. And then you look at the amount, we're producing more oil and gas than any other time in American history today. And how about this one? 100 deregulations for every new regulation. I mean, this is an amazing president, and the way I like to put it is this is like the third and fourth term of Ronald Reagan. We got the same kind of economic spurt when Reagan put in his policies that we're seeing right now with Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got a business boom, you've got a consumer boom, you've got a productivity boom, you've got an AI boom, you've got an energy boom. You're exactly right. I mean, really all this stuff. So as Trump said, I mentioned this with Newt, but I want to raise it with you. As Trump said in Davos in a very good speech, economic growth does not cause inflation. The Fed should not kill the boom just because it's the boom. The Fed models that you have to grow by less than 2% or that there's a phony trade-off between lower unemployment and higher inflation, those models should be thrown out the window, Steve.
Well, they should have been thrown out the window 50 years ago. But what Trump is proving, there are no limits to growth. If you put in place the right policies and you have American innovation and an American workforce that is producing like crazy, you're going to see a real spurt. And I thought what was most interesting about what happened last week in Davos is, look, Trump lectured these guys. He said, it's really simple. You just do what I do. Get on my back and follow my policies, and you will grow. Those countries have been economically comatose for the last number of years. I mean, Germany has fallen so much that the average German today has a lower per capita income than the average resident of Arkansas, our poorest state. So we're just whipping by all these other countries. And I'm going to make a prediction to you, Larry. I think I said this last year on your show, but I feel more strongly about this. I think you're going to see a Trumpian revolution all over the world. I really do. You're seeing it in Central America. You're seeing it in South America. I think you're going to see Nigel Farage swept into office in Britain. The European countries are going to throw out these arrogant, out-of-touch Keynesian politicians. Trump is starting a global movement for growth.
So I want the Fed, you've got two Kevins, Hassett and Warsh. They're both very smart. You can be independent, but you can still subscribe to the makings of a boom. Now, I'm concerned, the name Rick Reeder has come up. He's supposed to be a good bond man, all right? And I'm not interested in a jihad against him. But the Federal Election Commission is showing he gave money to George Soros's Act Blue. He gave money to, candidates who were opposed to Trump. John Tester in Montana, who lost Sherrod Brown in Ohio, Hakeem Jeffries, even Nikki Haley, who was the never-Trumper in the race. Why do we want someone who has a history of donating to, anti-Trump or never-Trump when you've got, you've got people who have independent reputations but nonetheless can subscribe to supply-side economics? I don't understand the reader's story, and I'm a little worried about it, Steve Moore.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I see Donald Trump, and I know you've experienced this too, Larry, one of the first things he says to me, Steve, I made a big mistake with Jerome Powell, didn't I? I said, yes, sir, you did. He was not a good choice. And he really ruminated over that choice back, what was that, 6 or 7 years ago. Don't screw this one up, Mr. President. This is a layup for you. You've got two outstanding candidates. You know them both well. I know them both well. in the two Kevins, Kevin Warsh and Kevin Hassett. They are both excellent economists. They know the Fed. They know what to do. They can come in, not only reestablish a strong and stable dollar, but also maybe clean house over there at the Fed, which I think is something the American people would love to see. So I do worry about it. This is an easy choice, Mr. President. You have two A candidates. Choose one of them, please.
Yeah, look, if I'm wrong about Mr. Reader's donor history, I will happily admit it if I'm wrong. But I don't know. I have some FEC information. Anyway, I'm with you. I just think the two Kevins, one of the two Kevins, would be a superb choice. You can be independent, but you can still believe in the supply-side model that you and I and Arthur and others, Forbes, have touted for decades and decades and decades. Anyway, Steve Moore.